Heyo guys, my name is BetaEtaDelota, and today I wanted to tell sort of a cute story about adventures, emotions, and most importantly, a character development that's about the equivalent to the Zuko redemption arc.
Got my face burned up by my papa, still got bitches that gon' run me like I'm Appa.
Okay, maybe not to that extent. I don't think anything's going to top the Zuko redemption arc. But today's a very special day you might not really know about. And it might not exactly be today in terms of day, but I always base it off of 2 weeks before AnthroCon happens, which is always the first week of July, so it's today. Or 1 week later if I'm uploading this late. But 1 year ago today, I pulled a big fluffy wolf dragon out of a box and a bag because apparently my fursuit mom and dad wanted to suffocate him before we got here. And in doing so, I finally brought him to life. So today, let's talk about my Fursona, Maverick the Wolf Dragon, and how he became the lovable wagon he is today. And yes, he is known as a wagon because of the wolf dragon hybridization. Drolf sounds kinda unfitting for him and wagon sounds so much cuter. And no, I did not create the species. Of course you can make your own wolf dragon Fursona. I can't just copyright a hybrid. In fact, you can't copyright cartoon characters at all nowadays. So for my sake, and mainly your sake with saving time, please stop asking me for permission to make a wagon. Like mini rant here. I understand you guys are being nice and considerate about making a wolf dragon Fursona. You don't want to step on my toes, and you want to make something that's unique to you, which I appreciate you guys. You're being very nice, and you're being very cautious. But the fact that we're at the point where people have to ask for permission to make a regular Fursona hybrid? What's really going on here? What's really going on in the fandom? Anyways, Maverick is a wolf dragon hybrid with some scattered stripes and markings around his body, a dragon horn on his nose, a weird hairstyle I can't exactly put a name to, and an adorably cute booper. But he wasn't always the fluffy wolf dragon we see today, let alone even my Fursona. He used to be a basic metallic dragon pretty much ripped off from the design of the Digimon Hackmon. So let's go back to then to see how things have progressed, about 5 years ago. Oh yeah, it goes this far back. To kind of break the ice with this, I originally found the furry fandom through Digimon. That's a separate video for me to talk about later on, but Digimon was the separate interest that introduced me to the concept of furries. But when I was doing YouTube at the time and wanted to differentiate myself based on my voice and channel and really just brand, I used a Digimon, which in this case was completely illegal. Like you can't just do that. They own the rights. There were a couple of Digimon that I used, mainly just Vmon as my mascot on the channel. This was old BHD waffle stuff, by the way. But one of them that I was introduced to later on was Hackmon, and when I learned about that being, he was just the cutest thing ever, and pretty edgy. Like literally, he was an edgy Digimon, and it worked out. He also digivolves into Jesus, and I'm not even kidding, Digimon Jesus. So you can't go wrong with that. He was literally perfect. I chose him immediately as my mascot or brand for the channel. If you were there for that far back, which I highly doubt, you'd notice that some of my icons or channel banners or anything was related to that Digimon. In this case, he was my Fursona at the time, even though I didn't know what a Fursona was or didn't have any interest in the fandom. But I ended up having him as a while as my mascot or brand, cause cute doggo dragon thing. But one thing about him was kinda off for me, which I didn't really like. It was the whole feral dog thing. Him being on all fours and not anthropomorphized. I thought, hey, if he's gonna be my character and he should be something related to me he should at the very least be anthropomorphized. I wanted something a bit more appealing and relatable, and even though Hackmon was pretty much what I was looking for, it wasn't exactly it. But that was until I, not for the reason you're thinking, found a variant version of him on e621.net. I don't know what it was. On E621, I just looked up Hackmon and he showed up. But all I know is that yes, the piece that I found was NSFW, but I used that reference or piece as an inspiration for how I wanted to make my character in the future. I thought this was perfect. This is kind of what I'm looking for, minus the dick. So I really wanted to work with that. I kept it in mind. I didn't use it as my official thing because that's stealing and that was someone's persona or character or whatever they wanted. So I just kind of kept it on the side until I was able to make my own variant of that. Of course, safe for work. But kind of on a whim, about a year or so later, I commissioned an artist that I knew at the time known as Graffinity, and he came up with the original version of Maverick, which this is kind of like Maverick 0.5, by the way. The character's name isn't even Maverick yet, it's just Psy. And yes, that is how you say that. C-Y-Y-E spells Psy. If that doesn't tell you about my edgy Tumblr teen days, I don't know what does. But that was the design that I kept for Maverick for a long while. He had the robotic body with metal parts and a little bit of hair floof. So mainly still based on his Digimon counterpart. At the time, he was still known as a Hackmon, which, you know, that was there. Which at this point were about a year, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years later. But for those few years, I kind of kept him as my character. I didn't care too much about him besides the life jacket that he wore and how he was portrayed online as my character. He was just my identified brand or mascot on YouTube, and this kind of went throughout my freshman year in college, which at this point it's about 3 years ago, so 2 years from where we started. I don't know. Math is hard. I'm an engineer. But up until the spring of 2017 is when things kind of got a bit of a revamp, which is also around the time when I finished the 7 levels of being a furry. Once everything kind of picked up on YouTube and online after that video released, I don't know how proud of it I am now. After a little bit of time during that summer of 2017, I decided I wanted to change the name of my character. I didn't want it to be Sai, it was a bit too edgy, so I went for something a little bit less edgy, but still edgy, the name Maverick. I don't know why I chose Maverick. I don't watch Logan Paul, by the way. I don't know, I just looked up the name Maverick when I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know, that's kind of fitting to the character that I have. Not really at all, but still. So officially his name was changed to Maverick. I mean, then again, nothing really happened for another year until I joined the furry fandom. That was really the only change that happened that year in terms of my character. That is until about next year when I joined the furry fandom. Like, officially. Which, as you know, was around the time when I lost a lot of my friends online, and I really was trying to figure out who I was as a character, who Beta was, or who I really wanted to be in general. So what some of you might not know is the week after Anthro New England, I kinda underwent a Zuko level transformation. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that. I spent a week pretty much sleeping and in bed, trying to figure out who the hell I wanted to be. I was deathly ill, it could have just been the con crud, but I really wanted to figure out, who am I? And after that, I ended up changing as a person, and in turn, I guess I wanted to change a lot about Maverick as soon as I could. I wanted the representation of me to also replicate how I was, how I acted, how I thought, and just really an extension of who I want to be. This was around, I think, spring, March, April 2018. I don't know. Times are weird. Just know that we're going forward at this point. And a month or so later, thanks to my friend Bleo Daffy, we had a basic redesign for Maverick. So at this point, he was more of my own Fursona than he was a Digimon. He was more so me than the edgy character that I was really trying to be online. After that second redesign of Maverick 2.0, I kind of just lost that whole Digimon identification. Instead of being a brand or character online, he was furry me. But with his redesign, kind of a lot happened, and I decided I wanted to be more cute than I was edgy. So I changed him from just a dragon to a wolf-dragon hybrid. Now in hindsight, I could have just kept being a dragon, but what I really wanted to be was fluffy. I wanted to be fluffy as hell, I wanted to be cute, I wanted to be expressive, and I wanted to be lovable. Not saying dragons aren't lovable, but mainly I just wanted to be floofy. I want to be a floofy white wagon. So that's why I decided, wolf. I don't want to be a fox. That was literally it. No other thought went into it besides, wolf hybrid, cool. I really wanted that excuse to have furs, so I said fuck it and gave him 80% wolf. Give him cute fangs. Yeah, he's got some pretty cute fangs, not gonna lie. And about 2 years ago, he turned into my Fursona, and eventually I wanted to get a fursuit of him. This was solely because I got to fursuit as Majira or Twizzler at AnthroCon 2018, which was honest to god amazing, by the way. So thank you, Majira, for peer pressuring me into this. But I kind of decided on a style after I got my second official ref sheet from my character still artist known as Ectodroll. He made the original ones before that you're probably seeing now, I think, if Glitch is editing this video correctly. And you might not know this, but I kind of based my fursuit maker on how the ref sheet was going to turn out. And I just told Ecto, look, just make a design. You see this art, you see the character, you already made the character stills. Ref sheet, please. I have money. And after I got the first whip, I'm like, yep, this is definitely a Morpholess suit. Because I already knew Ace of Hearts Fox and Pineapple Fox at the time, and I was like, they're so cute, and I love this design. I like that fursuit style. And originally I was on the fence. I didn't know if I wanted Maverick to be a Morpholess or if it would be fitting. But then I got the first ref sheet back, and I'm like, this is definitely gonna work. And going a bit forward to when Morpholess opened commissions in August 2018, I actually commissioned their fursuit ref sheet artist, Brookie, as a means of trying to figure out, well, how would this work as a Morpholess suit? And literally, the ref sheet is a carbon cutout of the fursuit. I didn't realize that until I got the fursuit a year later. But I commissioned Brookie for pretty much an updated version of Maverick with all the markings and the views and just him being cute. And I guess now this is the current version of Maverick. There hasn't really been a redesign since then, since I really don't know what else I'd want. But a year after I got the ref sheet and got confirmed for the slot and paid it off entirely, here we have Maverick. It's really weird to think about it now that it took less than a year for me to get Maverick. Like, I kind of just decided at the end of AnthroCon, like, yes, we're doing this. And usually projects like that take a lot longer. And it really sucked too, I'm gonna be honest, because I had to wait a week After I received the box that Maverick was in, after it arrived at my place, I had to wait a week and a half until the unboxing party at Pineapple Fox's. I wasn't as tempted as you would think, but it was also like, why is this here tempting me? Why? Just why? But in the end, this is Maverick, my Fursona, not just my brand character online, but an extension of me. Of course, you know, I'm gonna be separate from Maverick. He's gonna have his own way of doing things. I'll have my own way. And it's kind of like the whole not breaking the magic thing. As soon as I put on the fursuit head, I'm Maverick. Doesn't matter if I have the Kigu on or not, or paws on or not, or if I'm showing skin or not. As soon as I put on the head, I'm Maverick. And it's really weird to think about that he's kind of developed over the past 5 years into his own character. Not just that I love, but that I know a lot of you guys love as well. And there are honestly several factors to why I'm here, not just because of Maverick, or because of Digimon, or because of the 7 levels of being a furry, but honestly, it has to be the furry fandom. Like entirely, if it really wasn't for any of these things existing, Maverick probably wouldn't exist now. And I'm really, really grateful that he does exist. It's thanks to you guys and the furry community. This is pretty much it. The backstory of my Fursona, Maverick the Wolf Dragon, so far. I don't know if I'll end up getting a redesign or anything later on of him, but right now I'm pretty happy with how he is. He's mine, he's an extension of me, even though he's a separate character. And I love him. He's my favorite wagon. He's literally sitting right next to my desk. He's kind of being a freeloader right now because he hasn't worked. He just kind of sits there and sleeps for no pay. He doesn't pay rent either. He's an absolute freeloader. What are you doing? Get up. And wagons don't listen to me. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. 1 year later, he's still the white fluffy wolf dragon I used to know, and I'm pretty happy with that. I've got nothing else. Have an awesome day, guys, and as always, stay life jacket. Take care.